Olivia, Olivia. Boom, boom. You remind me of a broken story. Growing up in Rebirth of Glory. Yeah. Cause side games just be trolling. What's going on, guys? It is your boy Cash and I am back. I know I missed yesterday. If you guys watched my recent video about me potentially losing my job, just go check that out if you're interested in what happened yesterday. But I'm back and I'm going to review every card that I missed yesterday, and I'm pretty sure they're going to drop some today. So without further ado, skidamarinky dinky do, let's get into it. And as you can see, the card that's already magically on the screen, Azel, the Deprived. It's going to be a Bloodcraft card, 4 cost, 3/3. Fanfare, deal 2 damage to the enemy follower. If Vengeance is active for you, deal 6 damage instead. And as we all know, with the new Succubus card, is that Vengeance can be active from turn 1. Just, you draw it right at the beginning, you lose a card, but the magic happens. Oh, it's magic, you know. Just surrender now. Alright, but you also have the Evolve, because why not give it more? Change your leader's maximum defense to 10, which is a Force Vengeance, so it's weird that they have 2 cards that have Force Vengeance. Cannot take more than 3 damage at a time. That's really nice. Effect is not stackable and lasts for the rest of the match. You are at 10 health, which now you don't have you lose pretty much 10 HP off the bat. You're permanently in Vengeance, because Vengeance is just triggered when you're on 10. But at the same time, you can't get nuked. God, that's so dangerous, because it's just like, even though, right, you know, you're at 10 health and being at 10 HP, you're very concerned. But if you really think about it, how often do you really get like nuked for 10 damage, especially in Bloodcraft where you can heal yourself? I think that's the only issue that I have with this, is that you have to switch around your deck to pretty much have this and the Succubus, and only pretty much have nothing but like a bunch of heal cards in there, just so you can constantly just keep yourself back at 10. Because even being like, yes, you can only take 3 damage at a time, but there's like, if you get minion flooded, which I think the meta is a little bit right now, I feel like you're at risk of a lot of things, and it's very risky. But it's, ooh, still, doesn't it make you a little tingle, like a little tingle jingle in your bones? I don't know, it makes me a little, it's so risky, it's so fun. What happened to fun, ladies and gentlemen? Because that just, ooh, it tingles me like fucking the hyenas in Lion King. Next up, another Bloodcraft follower, Nightmare Dream Eater, is going to be a 2 cost, 1/1. Fanfare, if Vengeance is active for you, which there's a plethora of ways of that happening. Gain +2, +0. Also has a last word, summon a forest bat and give it +X, +0. X equals this follower's attack before being destroyed. This is obviously lending to the beautifulness that is hand buff, especially because it's a last words, but the danger Will Robinson with this is obviously it has a last words, summons a bat based on that character's attack, and if Octrice was to steal it, then just a little dangerous, a little bit running this card just because of Octrice. So it almost makes me feel I don't want to run it, but obviously you would have a forest bat that it's a 4/1 because it says +X, and if this thing was boosted by the Vengeance that it already has, then it's giving out 3. That means it's going to be a 4/1 forest bat on the field, which is really nice because it comes last word, so it's after something has died, and after it died and then it comes out, so it's like, dang, now they have to kill the 4/1 as well. Bloodcraft again, nani? Alright, Swarming Wraith is a 2 cost, 3/2. Uh-oh, something stupid's about to happen. Fanfare, if Vengeance is not active for you, deal 2 damage. If Vengeance is active for you, deal 2 damage to the enemy leader. That's busted, because now that they did a really good job of just like, if Vengeance is active for you, and before you used to be like, oh, how am I gonna get to 10? How am I gonna stay at 10? Oh, it's so hard. And now they have a gold card that's like, yo, you'll be 10 forever. It's just like, it's like, I should have called that card the Disneyland card. It's like, you're a little kid forever. Just don't even worry about it. And then you have the succubus that's like, well, screw the rules. You're a kid forever. So now when you see vengeance cards, you can be like, at least until obviously this rotates out, these cards rotate out, but until then it's like you'll be good no matter what. And you know, that's, I don't know, that's a really cool feeling, because we're gonna definitely see in the meta like a lot of people trying this out, and I'm curious to how fluid the deck's gonna work, because you're gonna have 6 cards potentially that are gonna automatically put you in vengeance. There are still other cards that are still gonna be available. I think the Waltzing Wolf is still going to be available. Obviously Lycos is going to be available to put you in that. So it's kind of crazy that Vengeance is definitely a viable deck, because they're obviously losing DFB. So they said, well, instead of just killing people outright with Dark Feast Bat, let's give you an option when you're just sustaining through a fight for like 8 years. So it's like, what's worse? What's worse? But it is the classic Blood. First iterants that I can remember was Vengeance BS, that I can remember when I first came in. I know that they had the Swarm of the Abyss, but I wasn't around during that. So when I came around, it was just, you know, the Mask of the whatever, and you just could not kill them. They would just sit there and just like, ha 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 ha. And then they have, Blood has pretty strong, powerful cards too. So you would just lose. You would just lose because you couldn't outtrade them, and you, in any sense of the word. So it looked like that's what they're going for. Like this card, 2 costs, 3/2, that also came out and did 2 damage to the face if Vengeance active. That's nuts. Like what is this card? So we got another Portal Legendary, the other one. So we had the Magna Legacy reprint, and now the Sawai Resonant Heart, and Sawai Resonant Heart. I don't know, it just reminds me of like some anime character. And it's gonna have Accelerate 2, Summon 2 Puppets. So 2 costs, 2 Puppets, pretty good. Fanfare, playing it at 5 as a 4/4, put 2 Puppets into the hand. So you can also evolve it in Summon and Victoria. This is obviously a reprint of Swai. And Swai used to be, I think you would play it and then it would come out and drop a Victoria. And then you can evolve it, and then you can give Victoria the ability to attack twice, or if I'm not mistaken. And then the next turn, if they didn't kill the Victoria, you would evolve it, so then you can do 10 damage to the face, or you know, whatever. But this card seems alright, but once again, it just doesn't do a damn thing for Portal, does it? I just don't. It's just a little lackluster in comparison to what I feel everybody else is getting their game plan. Come on, Portal, man. I'm about to liquefy Portal. Let me know if you are too, or already have done it, because it's like, come on, we need some power. Like, we need something that stank. We need the Azel the Disneyland card. That's what we need. This card gives you permanent Deus Ex Machina's effect when it's drawn into the hand. Come on, give something stupid. Next up, we have Lich the Gear Turner, another Portal Craft card. Fanfare, put a puppet into the hand. 2 costs, 1/1, put a puppet into the hand. Already like halfway to Zwei. Whenever an ally puppet comes into play, restore 1 defense to your leader. I do like that effect though. And then it also has the evolve to put an extra puppet into the hand. I think that this card is stronger than Zwei, just by a little bit. Just because like puppets kill themselves. Sorry to say, but puppets, you play them, this card's out, and then they attack, and then you'll heal yourself. And if you have a bunch of puppets in the hand, especially with the orb of the desecration, and then you're just kind of trading, this could be a 4+4 heal. 2 costs, put a puppet into your hand, and then you have other puppets in the hand, and then you trade, and the next thing you know, you +4, +3 with this card. That's nuts. And you obviously traded with something on the board. I really like this card. Neutral Angelic Smite. Banish an enemy follower or amulet. Both players draw a card. So obviously, as we've been saying, amulet destruction is a necessary, but now this is a really crazy card because it says banish. So that means it is going to counter Haven-esque amulets. It's also going to counter desecration. It's also going to counter orbital desecration from Portal. And it's going to counter any little weird thing that has a last word amulet. Obviously, it can also counter an enemy follower with last words. And this is neutral, so pretty much is going to be in almost any player's deck if you're just thinking about a good tech. Yes, both players draw a card, but to banish an enemy follower, to negate their last words, to negate their amulet, is well worth it to put in the deck. I would say this is should be in almost any one of your deck. You should actually build your deck in Rebirth of the Glory with 3 of these and just be like, eh. I know some people when it's attack they only do 1 actually, or 2, because they'll say, I don't want to draw it all the time. But to be able to banish a follower or amulet for 4. So 4 costs kill the follower. If it has last words, it doesn't matter, but this is killing a lot of cards. Like, it doesn't even matter what card it is. And remember, banish gets around destruction. Banish will be like, oh, this card cannot be destroyed. Be like, oh, well, I'm not gonna destroy it. I'm gonna banish the thing to the Shadow Realm. And the game's like, good idea. Good play. So definitely really good card. Havencraft Machina card, Robo Wing Precant? Who knows? Anyway, 2 cost 2/2, beautiful, mwah. And Fanfare, put a repair mode into your hand, mwah. And the father's gonna love that. Also, whenever you play another Machina card, gain Bane. So this card gains Bane, because that's what it doesn't say give the other character Bane. This card will gain Bane. It's a Machina, helping out Lamonia. You can play this on turn 3, play this, play the repair mode. A Machina card was played. Now you have a 2/2 Bane. And also later on, you can also give it the Robo Falcon, I think it is called, that gives Rush. So, and Rush is another Machina card, so you can literally play this, then play the Robo Falcon. I think that would be a turn 5 play, and then go kill something instantaneously. Really good. And if I'm not mistaken, Salvation X Lamonia is also a Machina card. So if you did have this, and you know, in the grand scheme of things, this will also trigger the free Bane. So I really like this card. I really like this card. Next up, we have Forest Nothing. I feel like everything is either Machina or something crazy. So this is a 2 cost 2/2. Evolve, put a Fairy Wisp and Fairy into the hand. We know why you're doing that, huh? We know what you're doing that for, huh? You're trying to get the audience wind up there, huh? You think you're slick, eh? You think you're slick, eh? So it's definitely, like I said, for Arya's Whirlwind. It will also help with Lena. It will help with Cetus if he's even played. I don't know if he's gonna be meta, but obviously his Righteous Invocation has to deal with cards being played. Hornet Soldier might make a slight little comeback. Force Oracle Pascal with more ways to get fairies and Fairy Wisp. This card's also going to be a huge threat. And last but not least, Sky Devouring Horror is the ultimate goal. The ultimate real free win that you can think of with this, with the Fairy and Fairy Wisp meta that's coming up. So gonna definitely see a lot of this coming back. It's been on the hiatus because the decks that have come out for Forest haven't been like focused on spamming cards, especially 7 cards at that. So now that there's going to be more Fairy generation, more Fairy Wisp generation, definitely going to see some Sky Horror. Wow, they even went to the trouble of reprinting Great Goliath. Fanfare, it's a 4/3/4, which I think it's always been, but it also has an enhanced 7. You get +4/+4. And if you, for some reason, have this card in and you want to play it up to 10, give it +4/+4 again, which is a +8/+8, making this follower an 11/12 card dropped. Now, I don't think you would put this card necessarily in the deck. It doesn't really have any synergies that I can think of. But if you happen to get it on take 2, it's just in your hand, and it's turn 7, and it just becomes a big minion. Turn 10, don't have a better option. You just drop an 11/12. Why not? Shadowcraft Mino Kraftiripa, and she is a 1 cost 1/1 and has Fanfare enhanced 7. Gain +5/+5 and 3 shadows. Also, last word is to gain a shadow, which is obviously good if you want to play it for 1. I don't know if you want to play for the enhanced necessarily. If the option's there, just a nice option, I guess. Next up, Havencraft Mad Eidolon. Now, this was kind of one of the other cards I was thinking, like they were either gonna go give it to Heal Haven and give them a Tenko Shrine or a Lena's Prayer. But I also thought, well, there was this card. It wasn't necessarily I was thinking this card, but something with the amulets, because everyone's getting like their past metas. So one of the other metas was Destruction. They do have Zekibaba, but let's see what Amina Mad Eidolon does. It is a 4 cost 1/3, so it better have a Stack Daddy effect. Fanfare, if there isn't any Totem of Madness in play. I love when a card starts off with something that has nothing to do with what has been in the game lately. And you're like, Fanfare, if there's not a Cash Brine in play, play Pot of Greed or some stupid shit like that. And you're like, what's a Cash Brine? It's like you automatically have to go find what that other card is. Let's just read the rest of it. Transform an enemy follower, excluding this card, into a Totem of Madness. So if you're fighting against Haven, it's like you can't even make this a Totem of Madness. You have to go find another card, right? So kind of funny. Then Clash. If an enemy Totem of Madness is in play, give the enemy follower -4 until the end of the turn, until the end of your opponent's turn. When it's evolved, it has an additional effect that says, when you play a countdown amulet for the first time on each of your turns, subtract 4 from its countdown. that's some severe dirt. That is some severe dirt if this card can be evolved, right? So this is Totem of Madness. It is a countdown to last words. If there isn't an enemy Totem of Madness in play, transform a random enemy follower into a Totem of Madness. So just keeps cycling it by constantly transforming enemy followers into this card, so it keeps triggering over and over again. So it's taking an enemy follower and turning it into this amulet. At the very least, right, without thinking about this card's actual evo effect, play it on turn 4. You get to choose, because if this Totem of Madness is not in play, which it shouldn't be because this is the first time this card's coming out and existing, you play this card, transform an enemy follower. Keep in mind, transform means that the last words are not going to be affected, and it also will beat stuff like Seraph, the big one that summons the thing. So it just automatically turns that into a Totem of Madness. Also, if you then evolve, you can then attack, and then another enemy follower will then get -4 into the end of the opponent's turn, not the end of my turn, but the opponent's turn. And also, when you evolve, when you play a countdown amulet for the first time on each of your turns, subtract 4 from its countdown. And a lot of things are like 2. There are some that are 3. So it's gonna really ramp up your amulet destruction. So this card's really, really good. I really like this card. So we got a 2-cost 2/1 Swordcraft Commander. Splendid Fencer, gonna be a fanfare. Give an allied officer +1 and enhance 5, give that follower Storm. Pretty good. Portalcraft Cat Gunner. 2-cost 2/1 with Rush, so it's pretty much like a slightly earlier version of the 3-cost one, and it also has fanfare. Put 2 ancient artifacts into the deck. It's just okay. Not gonna praise it any further than that. Bloodcraft getting its other gold card, and we're gonna get the Heartsick Demon, and it's gonna be a 2-cost 2/2. And fanfare, if vengeance is active for you, subtract 1 from the cost of 2 Bloodcraft cards, excluding this card, in your hand. And it looks like you get to choose, it's not random. So again, now we're looking at this card as in you already got the Succubus, or you put Azel, and this card comes out and you're subtracting the cost of cards in your hand, allowing you to do combos that you possibly never could before. So and it's 2 cards too. Well, they're really doing a good job of making Bloodcraft hand buff look disgusting. This is obviously, I mean, in my opinion, it's a really good Bloodcraft card, but just imagine this could be an earlier Momo. It's earlier Laura, or a different combo with Laura, a different combo with Calamity Bringer. Like, the hand buff deck is looking very attractive right now. All you gotta do is just luck out. It's just, you know, luck out and get one of those cards early, at least the 4-cost one, and then you put yourself at 10, and then you just kind of like balance yourself out with like Wings of Lust coming in cheaper, and well, obviously you want the 4-cost effect, right? But you can still play it for 1. And then start drilling people's face in. Forest Legendary Omnis Prime Okami, and we're gonna get, it is a 7-cost 4/5. It has Storm. I'm concerned. Fanfare, return 2 other allied cards to your hand. So this is definitely to help out the Roach. Summon X Okami. X equals the number of cards returned. Whenever an allied Okami comes into play, give it Rush. And Okami is actually the OG Okami. Funny enough, this card is whenever another allied follower comes into play, gain +1. So obviously this card is going to start buffing itself if it's left to its own devices. So that makes this card even stronger than I thought. On later turns, you can technically play something else, and then they'll both get both be 4/4 minions if you can play this on, let's say, turn 8. But also, this card needs other cards on the field in order for it to do that. So what they're hoping for is that on turn 6, you pretty much flooded the board. That's very possible with Cynthia. Cynthia came out, flooded the board, down to 3 minions, and then next turn, they don't clear everything. You can return most likely just 1. I highly doubt you'll be able to return 2. Put out at least 1 Okami, give it Rush, and yeah. It's okay card, but it's definitely not super strong. But it's still, you know, Storm hit to the face. It's okay. If it was cheaper, I think it would be a lot stronger card. 7-cost is not even much that you can play along with it, outside of possibly just the Roach. And then it's like you play it, and then you bounce the Roach back, but that's like turn 8. Or Fairy Wisp is another one. I kind of forgot about that. You could technically play 2 Fairy Wisps, bounce them back to the hand, turn 7, and then do that. So that's an option. There's some decent Fairy Wish generation right now, so definitely an option. Can't count that out. So it's okay. I feel like it's not super strong, but it's okay. Reminds me of a gold card, not a legendary though. Next up is going to be Olivia. Blackened Wing is going to be an ACOS 5/5. This card is stocked. It's a reprint of Olivia, which is going to have to do with hopefully getting evolves back, because I think that's what she used to do. But maybe not. Fanfare, recover X play points. X equals the number of allied followers evolved during this match. Some more evolved meta. Woo! So you're going to be able to potentially pay this. You still have to wait till turn 8 to play it, but it could be a technically 1 cost if there's 7 things evolved during the match. Optimal is getting at least 6, right? That's usually the optimal. So this is technically will be a 2 cost. 5/5. Daddy agrees. Anyway, so whenever you play a follower for the first time on each of your turns, give it the ability to evolve for 0 evolution points. Olivia, Olivia. Boom, boom. You remind me of a broken story. Growing up in Rebirth of Glory. Yeah. Cause side games just be trolling. Alright, so obviously that's really good. The only thing that this is the time I need the frequently asked questions. When it says whenever you play a follower for the first time on each of your turns. So technically when you play her, that would be the first follower that you played. This is more like a card game that I played, the DC Universe card game, the deck building game, and it's like the first card that you played is the card that you played. The first, follower that you played would be the first follower, so you wouldn't even be able to use this until your next turn, and this card would have to sit there and be out. But I'm pretty sure in Shadowverse it does not work like that. You would play this, then its effect is activated, and then the next card that you play can be evolved for free. I'm assuming that's how it works. Now this card, again, is going to be 8 cost in your hand, just kind of sitting there, but has a very strong effect. Like I said, you could be technically playing it for 2 costs, and then follow up with a really good 6 cost, like Cynthia, which is definitely a high target in the Evo deck, and she's going to evolve for 0 points, and then she's going to evolve to that 7/9 with dropping 2 like this. Also, if you've actually, the match is dragged on long enough, then you're actually playing it for 8, but you get 9 back. So you can play something else and then play this and then recover all of it. Obviously, same thing if you've done 10 or more. So like it's really crazy what you can do with this card. This card is really strong. Like, it's really strong. No, they did not. They reprinted my man and made him a legendary. Okay. All right. So we got Yudis, traitorous Duke. This guy was so annoying, and the fact that he's a legendary, I don't even want to read his effect. I should just skip this for my own sanity. Oh my god, Bloodcraft, what is going on? The Vengeance is back because I see Fanfare. If Vengeance is active for you, gain the ability to evolve for 0 evolution points. Ladies and gentlemen, comes out for 3, and as he can see, he evolves. He gets +4/0 as a 3 cost. Oh no, and then he still has, whenever an enemy follower comes into play, deal 1 damage to the enemy leader and restore 1 defense to your leader. So he didn't have that before. He only had he dealt damage to the enemy. Now it also helps you heal, which makes sense because I've been saying these other cards that have come out, you're gonna have to keep yourself high on health, especially if you're gonna play Destructive Succubus, but you're also gonna play Seductress or whatever, but you're also going to be playing, the Excel one that's going to lower you to 10. So if that happens, you definitely need something to heal you up. So also it comes in here, and then if you evolve it, now it's a 5/5, which is huge amount of damage, and you didn't have to spend the Evo point. And now we just saw Olivia, and it's like, So the extra effect is during your turn, whenever this follower attacks and destroys an enemy follower, which it very likely can with 5/5 stats, if that follower is not destroyed, restore 4 defense to this follower. He attacked, he protect, so he attacks, that something doesn't have, more than 5 attack, or it doesn't have Bane, he kills it, he gets to stay on the field. He gets to trade with stuff and stay on the field, because if it's 5, he dies. If it's 4, if it's 4 or less, he's gonna just heal it right back up. So this card's very, very strong. It's whew. Bloodcraft. I'm thinking Bloodcraft might be top 3 guaranteed. Top 3 guaranteed, because this is so strong. Like the meta that is formulating. And it's weird though, because they have to choose between Machina, which is very strong as well. But I feel like what's really gonna happen is that you're gonna see a mixture, possibly of the two. I don't know. Let me know in the comment section below. Do you think Machina is stronger, or do you think that this Vengeance deck here is stronger? Because the hand buff Vengeance is looking like crazy and crazy every day, especially if you were to hand buff him. Now he's able to trade with stuff that has, you know, way higher defense, but he also will just get his defense right. You know, he will just heal himself back up, and he's healing you when he's just sitting on the field. He'll just keep healing you. So playing him later is really good. If Vengeance is active, he's evolving for free, you know. So let's say you don't draw any of those cards and you just have less than 10 health, because that's just the way the match is dictated. This guy is going to be trading and healing you back up while just healing himself and keeping himself sustained on the field. So woo, that's a way to take a relatively annoying card from the past and bring it back strong. Next up, meet the 11 Sisters, Swordcraft, and this is a 11 card. So here we go, more 11 cards for you, Swordcraft people. And we're gonna choose, put a Mina 11 Vice Leader, Mona 11 Mage, or Mena 11 Duelist into your hand. You get to choose. Enhance 7. Put 1 of each into your hand instead and recover 6 play points. So enhance 7, just get them all. If you play it early for some, you know, probably some combo based reasons, then you play it early and just choose the one that you want. Let's look at each option that comes out, just in case you do need to play it early, or when you do play it for all 3, you want to know what you're getting, right? So let's go. Mina, the 11 Vice Captain, is a 2-cost 2/2. And she has a fanfare. Put a random 11 follower from your deck into your hand. Boom, you have this one. Also another 11 card. It is a 3-cost 3/2, and it has Rush. If another 11 card is in play, it will gain +1/+1, making it a 4/3 for 3 if the 11 is within you, right? And then last but not least, the 11 Mage is a 4-cost 3/3. And fanfare, recover 2 play points. So you play it for 4, it's pretty much a 2. If another allied card, or allied 11 card is in play, recover 3 instead, making this a 1-drop, which is obviously pretty good. So I think combo oriented, it's almost as if you later in the match you could probably play all of them, to be honest. Like if you start off with this one, there's already 11 card in the field somehow. It could be the Albert, or it could just be like you needed someone else there. So you could even play this one first, then play this, get 3 back, and then play this. It looks like that's the flow of the combo if you're turn 7, and then you get all your recovery points back. This is technically 2, and then the 4, right, is 6, and then you'll have enough to also play this as well. So that's a 3 minion on turn 7, 3 minions out there, where you have a 4/3 rush on the field. You have a 3/3. And you have a 2/2 on the field. So pretty good on turn 7. Again, giving Sword an option on turn 7 with just this 1-cost card. Oh, Sword, you slay me. And we got one more fool to join the mix. A 1-cost 1/1 Loans 11 Apprentice Fanfare. Gain +0/+1 for each 11 card in your hand. So you play it, it becomes tanky. You can also enhance it for 3, and it can attack 2 times. This is really good. And the reason being is because of Ivory Swords Dance and other ways to possibly buff this card and have it just kind of like be a little tanky, but also then just attack if the opponent can't deal with it. And Enhanced 3 is pretty early in the game, and it also allows you to play it and then play other things because it's relatively cheap. So I approve. I think it's pretty dope, pretty good card. 11 looking good, 11 looking good. Next up, the Heretic Priest is going to be a Haven card with I don't care about nothing. It's not no Machina, it's not no anything weird like that. And you get the it's a 6-cost 6/5. Then you get the fanfare. Choose, put either a Forbidden Teachings or a Red Hot Boots into your hand. Changes cost to 0. Forbidden Teachings, if you guys don't know, is the lovely card. Draw 2 cards, then you can't play any followers for the rest of that turn. Really good if you can trigger on the opponent's turn for some magical reason, but still a really good card. And again, it's going to cost 0. Red Hot Boots is for trading. It deals 3 damage to an enemy follower. Then 3 turns later, deal 1 damage to an enemy follower. If for some reason Idling is still on the field, this is really good because it's pretty much like 4 damage, especially if there's only 1 follower. But I think most people are probably going to go with this because it's just free card draw. The card itself, though, is pretty expensive. it's 6 costs, so I don't know if people are gonna want to run it because of how big it is. So I don't know. I feel like Machina has better options. Now, I'm assuming this means they're just putting Witch's Cauldron back into the meta, because it's just kind of weird that it's just here. So I guess Witch Cauldron's back? I really hope I get this. We got Aisha, Underworld Sovereign, and she's back with a new twist. She has an invocation at the start of your turn. If you have at least 16 shadows, put this card from your deck into play, then lose 8 shadows. Whenever another allied follower attacks, deals damage to the enemy leader. If this follower did not attack this turn, perform Necromancy 8, evolve this follower, which technically she would only be there if that if that happens. And then she gets Stormbane, but she only when she evolves, she doesn't get additional stats. So obviously 16 shadows. I think the only way you're gonna get that like any early, because if we're theory crafting a way to make her very annoying, you use the core that gives you the free 10. A little bit time after that kind of passes. Boom, you have 16. She comes out, invocation at the start of your turn, so the opponent can't really do anything about this. So then when another allied follower attacks, which now makes the lesser mummy guy seem okay, right? But another follower attacks and deals damage to the enemy leader, which is going to be usually due to some storm, or the opponent wasn't paying attention to your shadows, and then boom, left himself open, left you with a minion on the field. Then boom, she comes out. There's at least 8 right now, because that's just logic. She only came out because it was 16. So that if this follower did not attack this turn, which it shouldn't because it just popped up on the field, you can perform Necromancy 8, and then it will evolve Stormbane, Storm to hit the face, Bane if you need to trade, right? Which is weird that most likely you won't need to trade because the other card hit the face, unless you're just like, I'm gonna do 8 damage this turn, or, you know, I'm gonna do some damage this turn. On turn 10, this card has the potential to come out way earlier than that, especially if you do a decent amount of minion spamming and shadow generation in the beginning of the game. I would know like Perfect Storm, and like maybe you can get this card out turn 5, turn 6. I'm not too sure. It's definitely a pretty good card. I feel like it's leading towards a new era. But maybe it's still just kind of be reanimation. But I don't know if you'd really want to reanimate her. Next up, we have a legendary spell, which is kind of weird, right? It's kind of weird. Really weird. Really weird. For a forest, it's like, what are you guys doing? Huh? What are you doing? Alright, so it obviously looks like Beauty and the Beast. So I'm scared. Hope you're scared. Get an adult. Choose, summon either a gentle forest beauty or an irate forest beast. Enhance 6. Do both. If at least 2 other cards were played this turn, give the summon followers +2/+2. Obviously a little easier to do with the fairy witch generation and the fairy generation. So gentle forest beauty is obviously her. She is a 3 cost 2/3 ward. Gain Bane while an allied forest beast is in play. So if you do take him out, then she won't have the Bane, which is what I'm assuming that's how that is written, while he's in play. So he can be taken out and then she will not have Bane anymore. Then the good old beast is a 3/2 rush, but he can gain Storm as long as the gentle forest beast is in play. This shit is trash. What is this? Yo. What is this? Beauty and the Beast was so strong. What is this? When you see this card, Fanfare, gain +2/+2 if you have at least 5 other cards in your hand. Gain the following effects if there are at least 3 other neutral cards in your hand. Can't be destroyed by spells and effects. Reduce damage from spells and effects to 0. This card was incredibly hard to kill, and there was a way to easily get it into the hand, like because it was a forest scrap card. And there was a card that was like, go get a forest scrap card, which is in the meta right now. And then the rest of your cards were actually just neutral, which right now would have been like this crazy, actually switch around Machina deck. But you would have focused on just Machina and possibly like even Evo. It would have been great for like Evo Forest, right? And now with the Olivia and things of that nature, this card would have been amazing in the current meta. But what did they do? They gave you this thing instead. And yes, there goes the +2/+2, right, on 2 separate bodies. So essentially, you can have a 4/5 5-4. This one hits the face for 5, right? And this one just kind of sits there because it's just a ward. Okay, let me not be too harsh on it. If you play 2 1-cost cards at turn 8, you can summon both of them. They're pretty beefy. One has Ward Bane, the other one just hits you for 5 in the face. So it's like it's okay, but especially if you can get 2 Fairy Wisps in the hand, then on turn 6 you can drop bop bop. But I feel like you don't want to play it for 3. Like it seems like playing it for 3 would just be terrible because they don't do particularly well, but like just kind of sitting there. I mean, he's kind of okay. 3 cost 3/2 rush is kind of okay, but this card is just a 3 cost 2/3 ward, and it's like, ugh, doesn't do anything. And unless you can get the irate forest beast like in other means, so you can like kind of put it in there later, doesn't seem worth it. And that is currently all the cards. I'm sorry, it's gonna be a big old upload. If you made it to this part where I'm apologizing that the video is long, which I should probably apologize in the beginning of the video, but like I said, I'm trying to catch up from 2 days worth of card reveals, and they dropped a lot. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.